What if one of the biggest obstacles to aging well isn't getting older at all? What if it's in the stories we've been told about getting older? Stories that tell women that we are becoming invisible, that our best years are behind us, that it's time to slow down, settle down, or simply fade into the background. No, thank you. But what if none of that is true? Today, we're talking about self ageism, reinvention, confidence, and why the second half of our life may actually be the most liberating chapter yet. And we have the perfect guest to take you on that journey. And you're going to meet her in a moment. But first, we have to take a little break. But not to worry, though, we'll be back in a flash, a hot flash. And lovies, before we jump into today's episode, I want to remind you to visit the Ageless Glamour Girls Boutique. From statement tees and chic bags to mugs and gifts, designed especially for women 50 plus. There's something waiting just for you. Visit agelessglamourgirlsboutique.com. Thanks. Welcome back to the Ageless Glamour Girls Podcast. I'm Marqueeta Curtis-Haynes. I'm founder and CEO of the lifestyle brand Ageless Glamour Girls, where we empower and celebrate women 50 plus on our ageless aging journey. We talk all things aging except for politics, and politics will age you. But anyway, that's another story. But welcome to the show. Now, around here, we believe that aging isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. Every week, or almost every week, we have honest conversations with inspiring women who are helping us navigate this ageless aging journey with more confidence, purpose, joy, all of the things. Now, today's guest, who happens to be from across the pond, is doing exactly that. Jo Blackwell is an author, podcaster, and the creator of Midlife and Beyond, a thriving community helping women 50 plus navigate change and discover that growing older isn't about becoming less, it's about becoming more of who we truly are. Shout out to that. All right. Now, Jo, through her books, she has books, I said that plural, books, podcasts, photography projects, and conversations with hundreds of women. She's challenging outdated ideas about aging and encouraging us to rethink everything we've been taught about midlife. All right, here is Jo Blackwell. Welcome to the show, Jo.
Thank you for having me. That was quite an introduction. I feel as if I need to tap dance on and do my jazz hands.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, let's start with your story. I know that you embrace stories, and I love it. I read somewhere where you talked about in ancient cultures how storytellers were entrusted with remembering and retelling the stories of the people and helping individuals and communities make sense of who they are, where they came from, and what mattered. And I love that you're embracing stories because God knows we all have a story to share, especially once you turn 50 and
Yeah.
you go up that ladder. So now I read where you describe completely losing yourself in your late 40s. Looking back now, do you understand about that? What do you understand about that season that you couldn't see back then?
Oh, wow. I think that being the age that I am and the generation that I am, so I suppose I come in the late boomer sort of category because I'm 65, so I was born in 61. Um, we didn't talk about growing older. We didn't talk about midlife. We certainly didn't talk about menopause. I remember seeing my grandmother talk about the change.
The
You know,
change.
she never she never said it out loud. It was always a whisper and a grimace, and about this. Oh, she's going through the change, and I used to think, what's happening to her? She doesn't look any different to me. What's happening? So,
It's like, what's happening? Right, right.
so I didn't know about menopause. Isn't that crazy? You
No,
know, I'd
no.
spent my life kind of just getting through life. I married very young. I had 4 children, under 7 at one point. So I didn't have a lot of time to think about life and the universe and everything, you know, and the meaning of
Right,
life.
right.
And then one day I was I'd taken my 2 teenage daughters to Paris. Lucky them, because they
Lucky no.
weren't getting on too well, and I was really trying to do some kind of intervention, you know, because they were
Uh,
teenagers. And I stood on the banks of the River Seine, and I had a hot flush. I didn't know what it was. I thought I was having a heart attack, and I was busy trying to work out how to call emergency services in French.
you
So
thought you were having a heart attack.
yeah, because my heart was racing.
Right.
The heat, you know what? You know the heat. I mean,
Yes.
even in this heat wave, I've never felt heat like that, you know. And I just didn't know what was happening. And the worst thing for me when going through perimenopause was the psychological side of it, in terms of you know, I lost my confidence. I didn't know what was happening to me. I was anxious all the time. The anxiety was debilitating. I'd wake up in the morning with that stone of anxiety in my chest, you know, that feeling of doom that something awful had happened or was going to happen. And I got very, very depressed. And so I went to my doctor, and they gave me antidepressants and sent me on my merry way.
And still, there is no one mentioned
No one
the M
mentioned.
word. No
Somebody
mention.
did say, because I had a little bit of an incident at home. I had a workman at home, and this workman used to work in the prison services, so he was first aid trained. And I'd have a very it was a very stressful situation. I was trying to type an email to help somebody out in this stressful situation, and all of a sudden I couldn't see, and I fell to the ground. You know, I was on the couch, luckily, so you know I didn't fall very far.
Right.
I came to, because I called out to him, because I didn't know what was happening. And it was round about this time, actually. And he came running down the stairs. And after he'd sort of sat me up, got me a drink of water and everything, he said, "Oh, women your age often get this sort of thing."
Whoa.
It's hysteria. What?
Right.
He didn't slap me around the face, you know.
Right. Exactly.
And that got me thinking, well, hang on a minute, is it something to do with my age? And that's when I started looking into it, and so on and so forth. And I'm trying to think how it started now. You know, that's the only trouble, isn't it? You learn so much, and you get to a certain age, things start falling out your ear because you know you have
right.
It's like chicken egg situation.
It's a lot up here. There's a lot up here.
I was working a job that I hated, basically, because we were going through the 2008 financial crash. And, so it was
brutal.
And I was working in our benefit system, you know, when people you know, unemployed and they come for benefits. And one of the ladies that came through, I was sort of in charge of the mums who were claiming benefits. And then when their child reached 6, I think it's now 3, they had to find some work, you know, and we were supposed to help them back into work. And this lady said to me, "Well, I'm going to monetize my blog." And I said, "Well, what's a blog?" And I put my pen down, and I was supposed to spend 10 minutes, you know, but I said, "Oh, explain it to me." And she explained what a blog was. A few years before that, I'd made my living writing. And I thought, I'm going to write a blog, and I'm going to write a blog about turning 50, because it was fast approaching. I got a year to go. So I started writing this blog, and I wrote my way out of depression. You know, that sounds very dramatic, but it was, people started communicating with me. So people would respond to my blog or send me private messages saying, "I feel exactly the same. This happened to me." And knowing that I wasn't alone was so valuable to me. And I started to feel the fog lift and realize that it wasn't me. I wasn't failing. I wasn't sort of falling apart. It wasn't a weakness. But there was actually something physical going on.
Right.
As I was writing this blog, I thought to myself, well, you know, I'm going to interview people who are already 50 and in their 50s and older, and give myself a little bit of inspiration for what's to come, because I thought the world was going to end. I'd already been to see an orthopedic surgeon 10 years before because my knees had stopped working properly. And he told me I'd be in a wheelchair by the time I was 60. And when I said to him, well, hang on a minute, what are we going to do about it? He
Right.
said, come back and see me when you're 60 and your needs have reduced.
Oh, you cannot make this up.
You couldn't, could you? I mean,
Amazing.
my jaw hit the floor. And I said, what do you think I'm going to be doing when I'm 60? I suppose I'm supposed to sit on the sofa, am I? Sit on the couch and knit or watch daytime TV? What? That's not my plan for my 60s. I've spent all my life bringing up a family. My 50s and 60s are going to be the time when I do what I want to do.
That's right.
Anyway, so but the thing is, once somebody tells you something like that, it's, you know, when you go to the gym and they've got all those motivational things on the wall about what you can do. It's the opposite of that, and you believe it.
Right.
Even though I didn't want to believe it, part of it went in. Anyway, I decided I'd interview these people, and I thought I need to take their photographs as well so that I can illustrate the articles that I was going to write.
Right.
Put myself onto a photography course. Got to the photography course carrying my husband's camera that I'd never used. I'd never turned it on. It never come off auto. The memory card was stuck in it. It wouldn't come out.
Wow.
And I looked around and I thought, oh, crikey, people have got big cameras, haven't they? Gosh, what have I come to? And I realised I'd accidentally booked myself on a course for professional photographers.
Oh, see, I don't believe in coincidences. That was meant to be. That was meant to be part of your journey.
I mean, 10 years before, I would have sidled back to my car and driven home.
That is funny.
But that is one of the nice things. As you get older, you're slightly less easy to embarrass. And the instructor was lovely. And I quietly said to him, can you please tell me how to work this camera? And he was great. He was absolutely great. There was a woman in her 50s who was being used as a model. I picked up the camera when it was my turn, looked through the camera, looked through the lens, and it took my breath away. Because when you look through the lens of a camera, you see someone. You really see them. I could see what she looked like at 18. I could see what she's going to look like at 80. I could see her vulnerability underneath the confidence that she'd walked in. It was just beautiful. And I was hooked. And I came back from this, so it was a 3-day event, and I was, talking. And my husband said, oh, you're not going to be a professional photographer now, are you? And I went, no, of course not. I am. And that was the start of my photography career.
Oh my gosh.
And it was just
as a matter of fact, I am going to be a photographer.
All of a sudden he sees all this equipment piling up,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And I had
as part of the journey, finding yourself, part of the journey.
Exactly. So I began a career because I hadn't had a career before. I'd had some jobs. I'd worked in the family business, but I had done some writing, but I hadn't had what I would class as a career. Right. And to start my own business and do all the learning that I needed to do, I came over to America to learn from Sue Bryce in Los Angeles, portraiture and so on. So it opened up my eyes and my mind to so many things. I forgot that I didn't want to turn 50. I was so enthralled with the new things I was learning.
Right.
And that is, one of the keys is to stay interested in life and to go outside your comfort zone and to know that there's so much more for you in life. Mm-hmm. If you just keep your eyes and ears open, it's there. And take that leap.
That is so true. It's like sometimes I look and I'm like, oh, I think I woke up at 60, or maybe I woke up at 65 right. and I keep waking up,
I love being in my 60s. This is the best time of my life.
It really is. And like, to your point, you have to keep learning, learning new things. And that's the beauty of this. It's like we now have a lot of those tools at our disposal to help us live our best ageless lives. You just have to do it. Yes, I love that. And you mentioned something that really, well, you mentioned a lot of stuff that caught my eye. In your social media, your platforms and everything. Um, I have never heard of this phase. I mean, of this phrase, I should say, self-ageism.
Mm.
And what is it? And how does it and how can it quietly shape the way we see ourselves? Self-ageism.
Well, to start with, if I go back to the story about the consultant telling me I was going to be in a wheelchair, I'm now 65 and I am not in a wheelchair, and I'm fitter and stronger than I was at 40.
Bam.
So, I had a year where I thought that I was finished, that it was all downhill from now on, and downhill in a wheelchair. I believed it. You can't afford to believe it. And yes, you listen to your consultant. And yes, sometimes you have a condition that limits your mobility. And I do have several health conditions. And I don't want to be a Pollyanna about this.
Right.
Certain things about getting older suck.
We're just keeping it real. We're just keeping it real.
Bits of you fall off, bits of you go south.
Right.
Bits that you didn't realize were going to go south.
Right.
There is
you go through so much that you don't share with some people just share everything.
Yeah. But you have boundaries. You set yourself boundaries, don't you? What are you comfortable with? What are you comfortable talking about?
Yes. So I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I interrupted as usual. Sorry. Go ahead.
I wasn't going to go into details about what's gone south.
Oh my gosh.
So that there is that, but the self-ageism comes in. There's a marvelous book. I don't know if you've ever heard of Dr. Becca Levy.
Yes. Wait, as a matter of fact, I'm sure that she's over here somewhere.
On your bookshelf, yeah.
Yes, on the bookshelf.
I read her book. Oh my goodness, why isn't it? I can't read right over there on my bookshelf. We'll have to put it in the show notes. Breaking the Age Code is her book.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings together her research into ageism, self-ageism, how it affects you. So if you believe the things that we have been taught about growing older, that you decline, that it's all downhill, that you become fragile, it's inevitable. If your mother had Alzheimer's, you're going to get Alzheimer's. It's inevitable that you're going to get weaker, and so on. If you can switch that around, it can put up to 7 years onto your life.
Whoa, that's okay. I have to bring that.
That's a strong claim. That's not my claim. That's
right.
Dr.
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist. I kind of try and bring the information to the people that watch my content and try and sort of break it down. It's if you look around you, you think about the media. What we're told, any actress that dares look at what's her name, Pamela Stevenson, who's decided she's not going to wear makeup anymore.
Oh yeah, Pamela Anderson. Pamela Anderson.
Oh, Pamela Stevenson. That's Billy Connolly's wife, and also a comedian.
It's okay.
Yeah. Pamela Anderson. I did a really good podcast with a neuropsychologist called Dr. Mitch Kleonsky.
Okay.
Who said there's a difference between forgetting where your glasses are and forgetting what glasses are for.
Exactly, that part right there.
Yeah, exactly. Because we all worry, don't we? I've forgotten a name.
Yes.
You immediately think, oh gosh, is this the beginning of something? Because I've been forgetting names all day. Right. Actually, our Rolodex is full, and there's a lot more for us to try and find the information, isn't there? Mm-hmm. So it's no wonder. So if you say things like, I'm having a senior moment, that's self-ageism, because you're blaming that loss of a word on your age. Whereas if I was 35 and what's that guy's name? I'd be thinking, I didn't have a very good night's sleep last night. I wouldn't say it's because I'm 35.
Right.
Anything where you say it must be my age really is self-ageism. It's where you limit yourself by using your age as an excuse. And I do it. I do it all the time. Or I need to have a nana nap. And I call it a nana nap. And my son pulled me up on it not long ago.
How do you say it? What is it again? A nana?
A nana nap.
Oh my! I'm not
grandmother nap. A nana nap.
I'm not hip. I'm writing that down.
When you have a nap at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the chair and you just nod off, Perhaps you don't. Perhaps you're more energetic than me, but sometimes I need a little nap.
I like that. A nap. I like that. Okay, but anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
If we were younger, that would be a power nap, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah? Have you heard the term power nap?
Power nap.
There's a lot of executives.
And these days, I'm not a napper at all. I don't know. I'm just not a napper. I want to be a napper. As you get, I guess people in their 80s and 90s, maybe they nap a little bit more. I don't know. That's something to explore. I've
always needed a nap mid-afternoon. I've always had a dip mid-afternoon.
Right.
Yeah. So it's about your energy. It's not anything to do with your age. I mean, my stepmom, she's 81, and it's only been in the last year that I feel she's shown signs of being older. She's out in her garden all day, every day. She's got far more energy than I've ever had, physical energy.
Yeah.
But she doesn't think that she's older. She started saying, it must be because I'm getting older. And I can forgive her saying that because she's 81.
Right.
But for me to start saying that at 65, I'm limiting myself.
That is true.
I'm not going to get younger. So if ageism comes at us in many, many forms. So we might have, I think you're the same in the US. We have retirement villages where people over 55 will buy a flat or a little house or an apartment, as you would say.
Right, senior communities or whatever. Yeah,
senior community. That's
right.
Senior, you see over here.
Seniors, high school seniors, as opposed to senior citizens.
yes, senior citizens. Right.
Oh my gosh!
I went to the doctors about 3 years ago. I'd had another sort of funny turn due to stress, and I'm pretty sure it was always all stress. And I went to have a scan, and I'd had a Doppler scan on my neck, and it was all clear and it was fine. I hadn't had a stroke. Thank goodness.
My goodness.
She passed me my notes and said, "Can you take those to elderly care?"
Can you take what?
Can I take my notes, my hospital notes, to elderly care? And I went, why?
Wow.
Why aren't I taking it to cardiology or wherever at the stroke clinic or whatever? Why am I taking it to elderly care? She said, you're over 60, you're under elderly care.
Wow. And how long ago was this?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Wow. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I'm just woo.
But if I allow that in and start to think of myself as an elderly person, I'm not going to push myself, am I? Because I'm going to think, I'm elderly. I'm going to blame all my aches and pains on being older. And in fact, it's certain health conditions that I have, some of which are exacerbated by the fact that I've been around the sun 65 times, but they're not illnesses of age. Do you see what I mean?
I know exactly.
It's so easy for us to blame our age for anything that happens to us. And I do have a lot of health conditions. I've got chronic kidney disease. I've got arthritis. I've got an aneurysm in my splenic artery. I found out last week, which is joy, something else,
Yeah.
But if you concentrate on what you can't do, so now I'm thinking when I do my weight training, if this is just audio, I'm doing my bicep curls here.
Very good. I'm glad you caught that. I'm trying to work on that. Right. She's doing her bicep curls. For those who can't, who are listening and not watching, that's great. Yes.
But instead of thinking, I mustn't do that now because I don't want to put any pressure on that area of my body, I'm sitting down and doing them. There's always an adaptation, So I try and concentrate on what I can do and not what I can't. I'm by no means perfect, and I'm self-ageist as the next woman. I did something the other day. My granddaughter showed me a picture of her and I didn't see the beautiful picture. I just went, oh, that's not a very nice picture of me.
Right.
And she sort of looked at me as if to say, what are you talking about? And I pulled myself up short because I don't want her to, think that way.
Exactly.
Was the love between
they're watching. They're watching
and they're listening. Yes. And they're ageist from a very young age. You look at their TV shows, look at Bluey. Have you ever
Bluey.
watched Bluey?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I know Bluey. Yeah,
I
for
know you've
for
got
my
a
baby. Yeah,
3-year-old goddaughter.
yeah.
Here come the grannies. Yeah.
Oh
You ask a
gosh,
3-year-old
yes.
to act like an old person, and they'll bend
Yes.
over as if they've got a stick, and they'll
And
shuffle.
they have a stick and they're hunched over,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. Mhm.
And I took my then 3-year-old granddaughter to the park not long ago, and there was an overhead thing, and my back was tweaking a bit. And I thought, oh, if I could hang from that, that's
Uh-huh.
going to really sort of, help. Well, it was miles away. There was no way I was going to reach it. My
Right,
depth perception
right,
was awful. And I
right.
went, oh, Grandma, I can't reach that. And she kind of shrugged and she put her hands out. She said, maybe it's because you're old.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And I said, well, maybe it's because I'm not tall enough.
Oh. That is too funny. That's too
Yeah.
funny.
I
Oh
had
my
a,
God.
I don't know if you have this. When you put yourself out there, you often get some quite nasty comments.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
quite put myself totally out there yet, but
Mm.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
well, one of the
yeah.
things that almost
I
put
put
me
others
through.
out there.
There are some
But anyway,
unpleasant people out there. There are people who think that because they're behind a keyboard, they could say something that they would
that's
never
so
say
true.
to your face.
Yes, I've seen other, yes, just
Yeah,
evil comments. Yes.
yeah, and things like that. You could take them in and think, oh, I need to. What am I doing? I'm too old to be on YouTube. I can't be a YouTuber. Just as I used to think, I can't be a photographer. My knees don't work. I can't
Right,
run.
right.
Wedding photographers, good wedding photographers train for the wedding season. They go running and they get themselves fit for the wedding season.
I
I'm like,
never knew that, of course. Why would I know that? Wow.
so,
That is
you
something.
know, but then I realized with the photography, I was trying to be somebody I wasn't. I was trying to be a bit hip. And unfortunately, I'm arthritic hip. So that's not going to work. I was trying to be sort of, really polished. That's
Right.
never going to work. Can't keep that up. I will forget to brush my hair one time, you
Thank
know.
you.
So
Thank
I've got
you.
more interesting things to think about than
Right,
brushing
right.
my hair.
Exactly.
So, but I realized that the women that were coming to me for photography were
Uh,
almost always over 40. And they were coming to me because they felt comfortable with me, because I'd got this
see,
motherly vibe.
right.
And I lent into that. I just thought,
That's right.
okay, I'll leave all the hip photographers to do their thing, and I will be the motherly one that everybody comes to for a hug and a
Right,
cup of tea
right.
and,
What
and a
works for you?
biscuit
Right.
and a chat, before we start shooting. And it works. You can only be you.
That's so true. And getting back to the whole self-ageism vibe, it's like when you say those things, really, it's like you're putting them out to the universe. So in fact, you might even be manifesting that. So
Yes.
here again, be careful with your words,
So
you
yeah,
know,
words are important.
self-sabotage, man.
Yeah.
Self,
I don't like the word elderly. It makes to me, the connotation is frail and declining
let me
and
tell you,
disregarded.
I hate that word. And
Mm.
I remember about, I guess about 6, 7 years ago, I'm like, oh, I'm going to start something. We need a new word, to replace elderly. It's like, ew. That word is like, ew. I don't even like the phrase older people. Uh,
I
it's
don't
just,
mind older people because it's just a descriptor. Like you'd say younger people, wouldn't you?
oh,
Whereas
yeah,
there's
that's true.
like a
That's true.
word for that.
That's true.
I like the word
But
elder. I don't mind being an elder. That sounds to me like I'm wise and respected.
right, right, right. But not the elderly.
Respect, but not elderly. Yeah,
It's
it's
a lot.
I've earned some respect,
Right,
and I
right.
think that older people, the way we've got this narrative going on about there being too many older people, and we're hoarding wealth, and we're hoarding homes. There's a
Oh,
housing shortage. Why are these older people still living in their big houses and so on?
so over it.
Yeah,
Something every day almost, there's another article
yeah,
about
and
that. The great
there's a
transfer of wealth,
momentum.
but it's not transferring now because these older people are holding on to what they
Oh
have.
yeah,
They're not holding
we're
to
the
save
problem.
money for to buy our house and to do this
Yeah,
and go back to
yeah,
school.
exactly. We're the problem,
We're the
not
problem.
not the 1%. We're the problem.
We're the problem.
Who
Exactly.
have
Exactly.
worked all our lives, and anyway, don't get me on my high horse.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's see. So I hear this every once in a while. more than every once in a while, but so many women, in their 50s, I should say either really 60s and 70s, they talk about how they're beginning to feel invisible.
Mm.
And do you think society, what does society get wrong or right or about this?
Mm.
Or do we sometimes begin, and we talked about that already, seeing ourselves differently? And that's all a mindset too. But is society embracing us or rejecting us? And how do you feel about that phrase anti-aging, which
That was the phrase that was going through my head. I mean,
right, the answer, yes, yes, yes.
I'm anti-war.
Right,
How can you be anti-aging? That's anti yourself,
yeah,
because we're all aging. We're
right,
all going to get older, and I don't. I say what my age is. I'm not ashamed. Why should I be ashamed that I am now considered to be old? Why is
right,
that a shameful thing? Why is it being couched as a shameful thing?
right.
I think we have a problem in society, in both our societies, where we put value on earning money, being visible in that way in society, paying, into society that way. We don't put, and we put value on masculinity and the patriarchal sort of things that we talk about,
Right, right.
and we don't put value on traditionally feminine attributes.
Hmm.
Our ability to listen, our ability to nurture, our ability to see an
Oh,
overview of something,
the empathy. Oh my gosh.
empathy. And we don't put value on that. So
Right.
young women, when they have a child, feel that way because they can no longer say, oh, I'm a financial analyst. They say, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mother, if that's what they've, although very few of them are able to do that these days. You can't really
Right,
do a
right,
family on one wage anymore, can you?
right.
Or barely on two. But we don't value that. And I think that when somebody retires and they come out of the workplace,
Uh-huh.
we then don't value their contribution to society. And
Oh
we've got
my
so much to
gosh.
give, and we don't have the vehicles by which to give it.
Right.
There are certain institutions, like, if you belong to a church and you become an elder in a church and you've got a role in that. If you go into mentoring younger people in the workplace or something like that, there's a role there. But there aren't very many roles that we can just step into where
Right.
our experience is seen as valuable. I
That.
think, have you heard of Chip Conley?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
I have.
yeah. I love Chip Conley. He founded the Modern Elder Academy in Baja, in California. I think that's California, isn't it?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And he talks about how in a workplace, we need an intergenerational workplace because
I totally agree.
our brains change as we get older,
Hmm.
which is mistaken for being past it. But actually, our brains work in different ways. And as women, we go through that whole brain fog. And you can see on scans that they've done that the electrical energy going through our brains during the perimenopause period is less,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
it comes back. And this is something, if anyone's listening to this and you're going through this right now, you do come out the other side and actually you've upgraded. And your brain is not the same, but it has other attributes that are really, really useful. So in a workplace, you've got the energy of young people and you've got their sort of rushing into it. And then you've got the older people who have seen it all before, who know how to run something, who know what has failed in the past or work in the past.
Exactly.
Bring it all
Ooh.
together. Let's all respect each other, because ageism goes both ways. I mean, how many people do you know say, oh, young people today,
Oh
young
my
people
gosh.
today
Yes,
are
that's true.
magnificent. They're
That's true.
magnificent
They
young
are.
people.
You know.
We need more intergenerational interaction, more intergenerational cooperation. And I think you're seeing it more. I think you're seeing it in the US with, I'm not going to talk about politics, but you're seeing a lot of people coming together intergenerationally.
Yes.
And
Yes.
maybe that would be a good thing in the long run.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there's I guess it started, I guess about a year or two ago. I'm reading about these developments that are going up in some downtown cities, and they're intergenerational buildings. They're designed just for that.
Yeah.
And so you have the older person in there, and you have the younger person, and then they try to put the people with each other. So yeah, so you learn from each other, because that don't sleep on
Yeah.
that ageless
And,
wisdom, man. I tell you, and the youth, we all have so much to contribute to
yeah.
this world and society, and can really help each other out a lot. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you take that block and you've got a new mother, you've got a retired woman who's had children, the
Hmm.
baby's crying and what have you. She's got someone she can go to. Her own mother lives in another state. There's someone she can go to.
Right.
That woman is having trouble moving some furniture. You've got a young couple that live downstairs, so that she can knock on the door and say, "Would you mind helping me?" And then she'll bake them an apple pie. It's community, isn't it? We've lost this. It's what used to be old-fashioned community, and I think that we yearn for it, and we need to create it, and we need to create it as citizens. We can't wait for governments and other agencies to create these kind of communities. It's down to us
Yes,
to take control of that and to want it.
that's right.
And this is the thing, and this narrative that elderly people are a drain on society. It's very easy to other someone if you don't see them.
That is
And if
so
we're
true.
not living in the same places,
Oh my
it
God.
leaches into government policy. When those decisions are made about who benefits from aid, or who benefits from street lighting, or all those things.
Right.
It's the retirement community. You know,
Right.
we need to be these out of town retirement communities. I
Hmm.
don't think they're necessarily a good thing. I think that it isolates and pits generations against each other. And it's a complete distraction to what's going on.
Yes, yes. And have you seen, or do they have it there where there are a lot, some here in the US, there's communities being built now, um, of women, us older women, they just glamour girls
Mhm.
get
Yeah,
together, living together. And it's like we're done with men. Well, not necessarily, but yeah, we're in this community together, and we're going to
yeah,
support each other.
yeah.
Um,
I've seen that. I've seen about the tiny houses, the tiny housing community that's
yeah, that too.
sprung up
Right.
as well. It's one of those.
Yeah.
And because an awful lot of women, we go into retirement and we don't have the same benefits as our male counterparts do, because we might have had a break in our careers. We've traditionally had less money. I am getting political. I'm sorry. I didn't. I
Right,
don't want
right.
to
And,
be
and,
political.
and, that's,
We're
and after
political
divorce,
beings, aren't we?
right? And
And
after,
I find that
if
as
you
I
go
get
through a
older,
divorce, yeah, men traditionally make more
yeah,
money. They run things. So when
traditionally,
you go through a divorce, mostly it's the women who
yeah.
come on the short end of the stick financially.
And then when they get the retirement fund, it's very rarely the same as a man's retirement fund. So
Exactly, because we were at home raising the kids and doing all
yeah,
this other stuff.
and it goes
You know?
back to what we value, doesn't it? You
Yes,
know,
yeah.
we don't pay women to raise families, do we? We pay them to go out and then pay nursery schools. It's just
It's true.
bonkers.
It's true. Um, we cannot wrap this, but without talking about one of your books. I love this title, Aging Wonderfully Well, the good news about midlife and growing older. And I know you've covered some of this, but I have to ask you, what's the good news? Just asking for a
How long
friend.
have you got? How long have you got? Do you know, I absolutely. I was saying to my husband the other day, because I don't dye my hair anymore, and it's grey underneath,
It's beautiful.
and he was saying, "Oh, it's actually quite stylish, isn't it?" And I thought, well, yeah, whatever. But I said, I'm finding it fascinating watching myself age. I'm finding it interesting. It's
Wow.
I don't like I don't like the like you get skin lesions and things like that. I don't like all that. I don't like it when things go loose and and all that kind of stuff. But it's interesting. The
Right.
good news about midlife and growing older, we talk about reinvention, and yes, you can start over at any age. But actually, I've come gradually round to the thinking of we're not reinventing ourselves, we're coming back to who we are. I think you said that phrase actually in the beginning. We're
Uh-huh.
becoming, and that's what the third section of my book is about. We get this tremendous surge of energy and creativity as we go into our 60s. Many women, many artists, many female artists start and are most prolific in their 60s. I've got some examples in my book. I think Grandma Moses, I think, is an American woman. You look at people like Georgia O'Keeffe, Penelope Lively. You know, we have the time, the headspace, the experience. I'm going back to writing fiction again later this year. You know, I've just sketched out a series that I'm going to write.
Oh, nice. And last time I checked, that's one of the biggest, that's one of the growing areas again.
Yeah. So you've got that.
You need to escape. We're trying to escape.
We need escapism at the moment, don't we? We do definitely need escapism. But also, although our health can be, challenging, it's never too late. I mean, the studies now that are coming out where people in their 80s have start on a program, people with osteoporosis and those kind of conditions, and the density of their bones increases, the muscle mass increases, even in your 80s, just by doing some regular exercise, you know, in your chair. You can change things. You are in control, and never ever give up your autonomy to your medical professionals. Take their advice. They're there for advice. You're in charge of your physicality. You're in charge of your mental well-being and your emotional well-being. And there's one thing, if I could say one thing that has made a huge difference to me, it's learning to let go.
Ooh.
It's huge, absolutely huge. And by that, I mean, you know how you think you control things?
Yes, you think, First, like a few seconds. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yes.
I've just said, you're in charge of your body. You're in charge of the way you think about things. So I'm contradicting myself in some ways. But actually, you don't have control over certain things. I don't have any control over, like one of my daughters has emigrated to the other side of the world. It broke my heart. No, you know, I can't lie about it. She expects it to, you know, she said to me, it's okay to be upset, Mum, it's okay. But I've learned from that experience to live in the moment far more than I've ever learned before. I've always known that's a good way to live, but I have to now, because wherever I am in the world, when I go and visit her in New Zealand, or I'm here in the UK, I'm missing someone. So I've got 4 children, 4 bonus children, you know, their partners, and 10 grandchildren.
Wow, blessings galore.
You know, and I am so blessed, and I love them all. But taking 2 away and putting them on the other side of the world, I don't go, oh, well, I've still got 8. You know, because I love those 2 children with my heart.
Right.
You know?
I know. Yes.
I can't control the decisions my children make. I can't control what my government is doing. I can't control my husband's feelings or how often he goes to play cricket. And once you let go of that, once you let go and you just, you know, allow life to happen, you go with those things.
Whew. Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. Exactly. I think there's a saying, isn't there? Let go and let God. And
yes.
Even if you're not a religious person, you can understand that sort of sentiment. Let go. It's not easy. And, you know, sometimes I find myself clinging on for dear life. But once you kind of just relax into life, it is so much better. And one of the things I've noticed in my 60s, my energy's changed. And I need my nana nap. I've never had a lot of physical energy, but I've always had a lot of mental energy. And it's like, I'm fizzing up here. I used to write through the night, you know, and, you know, then make up for the sleep, you know, 3 weeks later. I can't do that anymore.
It's so true.
I can't.
And you just have to be cognizant of that. It's happening. You know, little stuff happens.
Yeah.
And
I've let go of the fact that I can't run up a hill. I mean, I would never have done that anyway. I mean, why would I run up a hill? But
why do that to yourself?
Exactly.
Oh,
that bus can wait.
Right.
But you know, I've let go of the idea that I've kind of just let it in. I know I'm getting older. I embrace the fact I'm getting older. I celebrate the fact that I'm getting older because of the compensations that it brings. And my brain is much clearer than it's ever been. I see things more clearly. I never used to like to say that I have some wisdom.
I was just thinking about age wisdom. Yes, go ahead.
And you know, my kids don't listen to my wisdom, you know, they're not going to, but
Right.
because that's the way of things, isn't it? You know, you
Yes.
don't listen to your parents until you're in that situation. You think,
That's
oh, I
right.
remember my mum saying that, you know.
Right. What do they say? The older I get, the smarter my parents get. You know?
Yeah. But just going back to the thing about the grandchildren thing, I'm going over there for a month in September. And I will live every day and enjoy every day. I won't let the fact that I have to leave, and I know the 4-year-old will be heartbroken again when I leave.
Right.
I try not to think about that while I'm there. I enjoy every minute.
Exactly.
And then while I'm here, I'm with the person that I'm with.
Yes.
And it's just a gentler way of life, and I don't push myself as much. I'm still ambitious, but I'm not. I'm done striving. You know, things will happen in their own time. We were talking earlier about having to be on all the platforms and things. I've spent the last year simplifying things. You know, I'm not on Facebook very much now. I do Substack, YouTube, and my podcast. They're my 3 things. And then I struggle to push them out, you know.
I know. It's time consuming. Sounds like you, like me, you enjoy all of that. You know,
the creation, I enjoy that, not the marketing.
Right. And it's like you just have to choose where you're going to put your energy and your love and all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And just embrace it.
And that this is why I brought up the book, Aging Wonderfully Well, because it brings together everything I've learned. Because through the photography, I started the midlife movement. I had a membership and things like that. I don't have that at the moment. I might do something on Substack soon. But it's brought everything together. The women that I've interviewed for the other book, this one. That's weird. It's probably back to front.
I know, right? I know. Yeah.
Face it, own it. The Bare Face Truth About Midlife Women, which was a photographic project and so on.
But it's right for me though.
It is. Oh, good. I
know it's the mirror thing. Yeah.
You know, that was featured on the BBC, and I had all these women sending me their no makeup selfies, which I've included in the book. And they told me
the no makeup. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. I was going to ask you about the no self makeup.
Yeah,
we almost talked about it. We were talking about Pamela. You know?
Yes. Because I think we need, you know, I don't wear much makeup, as you can see. I did try and glam up a bit because of the name of your podcast. And I thought I ought to
see, that's why I got to correct some stuff here.
But I'm not natural.
Beauty is
very good.
Whatever. But anyway, bold, beautiful,
brilliant. To put it on for a start, I've probably got a streak of makeup over here somewhere, you know. That
You're beautiful no matter what. That's why the tagline is bold, beautiful, brilliant. Because as soon as you turn 50, it's like, bold, beautiful, brilliant. You know, it's like
brilliant. You're exactly right. And I have never, ever, in Scout's honor, I have never photographed an ugly woman.
Thank you. Exactly. The non-existent.
Yeah. To heck with anti-aging. Sorry.
Right.
You know, don't be anti-aging. We're lucky to be here. We are bold, beautiful, and brilliant.
That's right. And embrace it.
That's right. To give the world. And feeling invisible, it's no wonder your family doesn't listen to you. The barista looks over you, you know, but don't be invisible to yourself.
Ooh.
Because, you know, that's when you really do start to go on a downhill if you start not seeing yourself. So, you know, embrace yourself.
Powerful stuff. Wow. You're amazing. You are amazing.
Ditto. I feel as if I've talked and not let you have a word in edgeways. So.
It's all about my guests. I have to stop myself from sharing my little personal stories. But yeah, but it's about you
I
guys
know.
and
I know.
sharing it so other women can embrace it and meet you and
And know
uh
that you're not alone.
yeah,
That's so powerful
that's
for
it.
me. And just that one simple thing is so powerful. And I
Yes.
hope you'll come onto the Midlife and Beyond podcast as well, because I'd love to. And then you can tell me all your stories.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's the chance I get to tell my story. Yeah,
Yeah.
remind me to tell you the story about the card game I was playing with a little 7-year-old and a a 8-year-old, 7 and 8-year-old, and it was a fast moving card game. This was like last year. Okay, I might as well tell you about it now. And
Yeah. I was going to say,
so we
don't leave me
won it,
hanging.
and it was a fun game, and I was on my job. And who won the game? There were about 6 of us, like the two youngins, and therefore older, the elderly. Anyway, so we're playing the game and stuff, and I won the game. And the little boy who's 7, he was so excited. He's like, "Wow, that was a good game." He said, "You're great. Oh, Marqueeta, you blah blah blah." I said, "Yeah, thank you. That was so much fun." He's like, "Whoa." He said, It's a good thing there were no old people playing this game with us because they wouldn't have been able to keep up." And I said, and I'm like, "You're so right. Those older people, they wouldn't." Like, thank you that you think I'm your age or just a little bit older.
Yeah.
And I won the game. I can't wait to 10 years from now and tell him.
Do it again. And then you can say, oh, you're an old person now and you're still winning.
Right.
You're still killing it.
I like that. Old and still winning.
But children have so much wisdom. My little
Yes.
granddaughter, have you ever seen those cards that you can play with? So you have these cards and you draw one over dinner and it's got a question on it. And she drew a question, what is happiness? What is happiness for you? And went around the table and we were all sort of saying things that made us happy, you know. And she went, oh, that's easy. Are you smiling?
Wow.
Happiness. It wasn't happiness. Oh gosh, got it wrong. It was success. What is success?
Okay.
That makes more sense now. Are you smiling?
Yes. I was sitting there. I was like, trying to go through.
I hope you can edit that bit out.
Oh my gosh.
Don't ask me to tell you a joke. I mean,
oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
I can't. Oh my God. So, okay. And I'm going to put all of your information in the show notes. You are simply amazing. And you guys have to follow her. Like she said, Substack. Now, let me know if I miss anything. You have Substack. You have a wonderful YouTube channel. I saw that. And you're not on Facebook.
I am on Facebook. I just don't do much on there.
Right.
I found that, I have a page. I put something out. I've got 1,800 followers and 3 people see it.
So, thank you. Instagram, all of it. It's like, why am I spinning my wheels?
Exactly.
And
my time is precious and my energy is precious. I don't want to spend it there making someone else wealthy.
And I'm not paying anybody to comment or follow me. I mean, that's not happening. So
I don't want people to follow me. I want people to come and commune with me.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah.
That is so. Be a part of our community.
Yes.
And that's why I am active in a number of communities. When I say active, I do participate, I engage in, a number of communities for 50 plus. And, somebody asked me once, they says, you highlight these women who are doing some of the same things you're doing. I'm like, the more the merrier. Anytime you can be motivated on this ageless aging journey, I'm all for it, and there's room for everyone, because as you mentioned earlier, you are an individual. It's like you are on your own journey and you're sharing your own stories. So if you see what people say, oh, there's a lot of competition, I'm me, and that person is that person. So everybody brings something different to the table.
Yeah. And that's a wonderful thing about communities of women as well. We tend to be collaborative.
Yes.
And we want to lift each other up.
Right.
I'm not saying, that there aren't men who are like that, but the culture tends to not be that way. It's more cutthroat. A community of women tends to be more collaborative. There's some cutthroat women. My goodness, I found some of those.
Oh, yes. It's a yes. A combination of people make the world go round, whatever. It's
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
oh my gosh. So anything that we didn't cover that you want to add?
I think I butted in and added things as I went along, didn't I? I can't contain myself when I'm talking about this stuff.
That's how I am too. It's like, and this is no time for modesty. I'm just
Yeah, I know. I know it's
being real.
you
You
grow
know,
up as a people pleaser and you don't, want to get big headed and all of this, and it all like self-ageism. All those voices are in your
yeah,
head.
those
My dad used
voices.
to say, "Have I got to pay half a crown to speak to you now?"
Exactly. Right, right. And you have inspired me. So this conversation has uplifted me. I'm
Awesome.
not gonna lie, and I can't wait to dive in to more of your community because it sounds phenomenal. Just
Thank you.
phenomenal.
Well, you can find me anywhere, Midlife and Beyond with Jo Blackwell. I've started putting my name on it just because that kind of connects everything.
That's true.
So that took me a long time to do that.
Right. Because people
um,
keep telling me,
yeah,
they say you're the face and the voice of the brand.
yeah, yeah.
If your brand like, midlife and beyond, that community, who is that community? Oh, that's Joe. That's Joe's community, Joe Blackwell.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Especially if I've moved more into the beyond, because it used to be the midlife movement and everybody thought I was a fitness instructor because it had the word movement in it.
right, right. See, right.
So I've
And,
evolved.
and as we know, it takes all of that to
Yeah,
to manage this aging thing, all
exactly,
of the above.
exactly. You can
Oh,
find everything on my website. It's just,
okay.
but that's Jo Blackwell, www. dot no, three W's dot
Right,
Jo
right, right, right.
dot co dot
And
uk. Don't forget it's dot co dot uk because I'm over
oh,
here.
oh, good point. Yes.
Mhm.
And so all of that, we're going to put all of that in the podcast description.
Awesome.
And any other, resources you want to share, we can also put those in the
Yeah,
podcast.
they'll all, yes, you'll see it there. And I hope you enjoy my book. And yeah, and I hope it
I
gives you some
cannot wait
food for
to dive
thought.
in. Seriously, cannot wait to dive in. So again, we've been talking to Joe Blackwell. Joe, thank you for coming on the Ageless Glamour Girls podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had a blast.
Me too. Thank you. Thanks again, Joe. Such an encouraging conversation. Loved it. And thanks for reminding us that growing older isn't about becoming smaller, but also about becoming more authentic, confident, and of course, more comfortable in our own skin. Now, don't forget to join Jo in her Midlife and Beyond community. So much good stuff. And lovies, maybe growing older isn't something we have to conquer. Maybe it's something we get to discover. I love that. Discover. And if today's conversation reminded you that your story is still unfolding, be sure to share this episode with another woman who needs to hear it. And thanks again for your love and support. Thanks for following us on our YouTube and subscribing to our YouTube Ageless Glamour Girls channel and following us on our various social media platforms, including Substack. And we have a private group on Facebook called the Ageless Cafe. I consider that the chat arm of Ageless Glamour Girls. Check us out there. Um, of course, I have to remind you of our book, our anthology, Ageless Glamour Girls Reflections on Aging, featuring 13 wonderful, amazing women sharing their personal stories about their own ageless aging journeys in these wonderful pages. And we're working on volume 2. So if you have something to share, and I know you do, I know that for a fact, reach out at info@agelessglamourgirls.com if you're interested in becoming one of our next co-authors for volume 2. Um, so much fun and so much fun. Just come on board and share your story. And you never know who you're going to motivate, um, who's going to resonate with your story. And it's all about community and resonating and relatability, right? Yes. Um, so yeah, info@agelessglamourgirls.com. And don't forget to check out the Ageless Glamour Girls boutique, where you can find the best gifts for women 50 plus. Yes. And just thank you so much for your love and support. And that's it for now. Try to keep out of trouble. And of course, as always, cheers to healthy aging and joyful living, lovies. And we'll reconnect again real soon. Bye-bye for now.